I have a lot of festival videos on this channel. Too many festival
Maybe too
videos.
many, but that's good. That's good. People like music. People like the feel, the energy, the crowds.
It's been 2 years since the last major festival.
Exactly.
About 2 years. So now people went crazy at Rolling Loud. We had the headliners were Post Malone, Travis Scott. I don't even know who else. Megan Thee Stallion performed. There was a lot of good stuff happening.
There's a lot of artists. A lot of people were just hyped up about it just because, like you said, it's been way too long since we've had, festivals because of the cough, not that I have it, but
damn, bro, you better put on a goddamn mask. I saw the clips, like Travis Scott, the clips of like the crowd going crazy. I miss concert, bro. And Travis Scott's supposed to perform at Coachella too. So
yeah.
He came out and he actually stole the show because he did a 250 drone. Like
the drone thing with the QR code, how like all the drones like lined up to make
all the
this
drones.
QR
Like
code.
You think about like how they're able to do that with drones now. Like there's for sure gonna be some kind of like terrorist massive attack with like drones, like coordinated, where they're all in sync to maneuver a certain way. Like they have that at concerts all the time, bro. And now it's like I don't know. It seems a little too.
That's a lot of money. First of all, just the production value of how they managed to do, which is very smart marketing, by the way, because he used that to do a preview for like his next album.
It was a song
new album. But yeah, just to get all those drones, like first of all, you need like a bunch of controllers and people operating them, of course, and just.
But you don't think the drones are kind of connected together, like pre-programmed to all fly a certain route? I don't think it's individual drones. That would be too complicated. To having 250 individual drones, bro, hell no.
It could be, but I would have to see the technology behind. Just like how would they be in sync like that? Because don't you think like other people like for example like Amazon would have their hands in that kind of stuff first?
Well, Amazon, I think they already kind of tested some. Mm-hmm. They're trying to have delivery sent to your house. So you order something on Amazon, and in the bigger cities of San Francisco, Los Angeles, maybe New York, they're already thinking about doing it. So it's you order something, not every item, and it can't be heavy items. So if it's something that's like accessible, certain area, you get like a 2-hour delivery. You order online, and 2 hours later they deliver it via drone to your house.
But it has to be like at a certain weight. Like you can't order a TV. You can't order like it would have to be like the weight of a book.
TV, trying to watch the game, bro. Hey, Amazon, send me a TV real quick.
Alexa, make that happen.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Happy from Despicable Me 2 by Pharrell Williams.
Wait, no, Alexa, don't play music. Alexa, no. Alexa, turn off the music. Bro, you're gonna get a podcast singing down. We can't play the copyright shit.
My bad.
Can't say the A word around here, bro. Hey, that's how you know the phones are always listening, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Alexa.
God damn it, Brian. Well, speaking of annoying technology just waking you up at 3 a.m, like the government today, they sent out a freaking Amber Alert for a flooding right here. It's like, oh, flooding.
Bro, we get those all the time.
But was it like you're gonna die or some shit?
I don't know, man. It was just some stuff like, oh, flashing flood. There might be like some flooding, but it's like, bro, like we live in a desert. Come on, like we're used to some shit like this. Like, yeah, we'll pull it up.
I got it right here. So it says, National Weather Service, a flash flood warning is in full effect in the area until 6:30 a.m. This is a dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Like, what kind of... First of all, it didn't even rain that hard, bro. It was like... It drizzled. Unless it's like a certain area where we
maybe if like you're somewhere like in Salton Sea, Thermal, Desert Shores, like somewhere where it's like really below sea level, there's probably going to be like more flooding over there. Just because it's below sea level more, in that area.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lose my sleep for some motherfucker that lives in the Salton Sea, bro. Like, who lives in the Salton Sea?
I don't even think we've had, like, a flooding that bad to the point where it's like, oh, my God, I'm going to drown. Like, bro.
No, it doesn't get like... It rained for, like, 2 hours, bro. Like, it literally woke us up on the middle of the night right before a Monday. We're just going to start work week. It's just Monday. Yeah. Monday's always, like, the worst day. And then I lost half my sleep because I couldn't go to sleep. Like, I had to wake up in like 2 hours after that. So half the time I was just like, what the fuck? Like, cause it was like an alarm. So you wake up, you're like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? I always kind of have this like, I don't know if it's a fantasy, but it's like a thing where I want it to be like alien invasion is happening or what happened in Hawaii a couple years ago. Did you hear about that?
What happened in Hawaii?
So in Hawaii, they basically said that there was a missile on a way to the islands from North Korea.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow it was a test, and they didn't say it was a test. Like, they said it was like, it's happening at this very moment.
A year and a half ago, right? Because I remember something like that in the news where like North Korea was testing a bunch of ballistic missiles.
Yeah, North Korea is always testing some bullshit.
Yeah.
But the Hawaii like government sent out a message like, missile on the way to the island. Seek shelter, not a drill. That's literally what the message said. Like, a missile's on its way, like Amber Alert. So everyone panicked, you know, like fucking everyone's like, what the fuck? And then like 5 minutes later, like, oh no, it's actually a test. Nothing's happening. But dude, that's like super scary. Those 5 minutes, you're thinking like it's over, bro. Like, where am I gonna find shelter in an island for
unless if you're like a billionaire that has like a underground like secret bunker. You know, like one of those doomsday bunkers. Like if you play Fallout,
Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Well, those bunkers do exist, you know.
No, yeah, they definitely do. Like a lot of them. Some people like in Louisiana, they built them because of the hurricanes and like all that stuff that happened, like Katrina. They started building them.
Well, that and a lot of nuclear bunkers were built in the 50s because of the Cold War with Russia. So a lot of people thought we were actually going to go to nuclear holocaust war, you know. So they built a bunch of bunkers. There's tornado ones over there all in the Midwest. Like, people have tornado shelters all the time. I just don't know why people live in those areas. If you know there's a tornado happening every year.
Yeah, dude. It's like, just move somewhere else, you know. Like, I mean, it's easy. It's easy for us to say because, you know, we live in California and we don't, what do we get? Like earthquakes?
That's what people say too. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to live where there's earthquakes, but fucking earthquakes, the thing falls and that's it. Like, no, we're never gonna knock on wood. I guess we don't know we're gonna get the big one.
Yeah.
Do you ever think we're gonna get the big one?
You know, there's a lot of speculation because, like, don't we live like on like the side of the fault too? Because we live in a valley, and I know that like we live like a couple miles away from the fault.
Yeah, so the San Andreas Fault's actually right here on Thousand Palms.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reason that's why it was called, the city's called Thousand Palms, because there was actually 1,000 palms in the middle of the desert. So imagine you're one of those like Native Americans that live here, like the ones in the mural.
Yeah.
And there's fucking desert, and then there's hella freaking palms and like wildlife,
like
and there's water. So there's actually a pond like you could visit. It's a hiking trail. Have you been to it? So it's over there.
I passed it.
Yeah, the Thousand Palms hiking trail. So right there is where the actual San Andreas Fault lines. So if you're driving in the street, you hit a bump, and that bump right there, it signals like where the two fault lines, like where they cross. So right in the center, water comes out of the ground and it feeds into all those palm trees and like the pond. There's like all kinds of animals because of the water. It's
its own like ecosystem. Yeah.
So we live like literally like if there's a big one, we're in the epicenter. So have you ever seen the movie 2012?
No, I've seen San Andreas. I've seen San Andreas, but I haven't seen 2012.
2012, I mean, this is a ridiculous movie. Like, everything's kind of stupid, but they have a scene. I remember watching it in the movie theater, bro. And then we were right here. I don't know which one here locally.
Mm.
There was a scene. They're like, "Oh, you see that dot right here? That was the Coachella Valley." And it was literally a black dot because California like split in half and shit. But it started here.
What the?
So
heck?
Like it erased all the valley because that's where the fault line.
How did you erase all the valley?
I think just the fall like split and just massive destruction. I don't know. They didn't show it. They only showed it on the map. They said like, that's where the Coachella Valley used to be. That's all they said in the movie.
Like I mean, I could see something like I could see like gas lines being blown up, like ripped apart. Water filtration systems will be obviously, but it's like we don't have the same catastrophes as like big metropolitan like areas. Like we don't have big buildings. You know?
We don't. Yeah, everything's kind of spread out. We don't have big buildings because I think there's regulations. They don't want big buildings to block the views because one of the biggest appeals in the valley is seeing the mountains and the palm trees and you see everything. But because we're so close to the fault line, I think it would the earthquake would just be massive, like 10.0 type shit where houses collapse. It'd kind of be like that. I don't think we would erase off the map.
Yeah.
But definitely be like some big earthquakes. Then you have fires, and it's kind of like if the roads get fucked up, there's only like one way in and out too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like a lot of stuff, like a lot of money to big budget to fix all that stuff. To fix, the water, sewer.
Oh yeah, we'll be living like Mad Max for probably like 6-7 months of like getting all the finding people, and it'll be crazy. Like I don't want it to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen in our lifetime. They said we're overdue by like 100 years.
I don't know. Knock on wood for sure. We don't get it, but I mean
that's one thing I don't understand. Like they still can't predict when earthquakes happen. Like we could go to space. Like Jeff Bezos could go to space, but we can't predict when an earthquake happens, bro. Like maybe we're using the resources the wrong way. Isn't that something we should be preventing earthquakes and hurricanes and all this bullshit? Like,
well, yeah, dude, because a lot of people die. Well, I'm pretty sure with all these hurricanes, I mean, they're always detrimental to those areas, in the South, Texas, Florida, Alabama, like all those other
redneck
Louisiana,
all those over there in the South.
Like, dude, a lot of people like lose their cars, lose their, damage and property, like bunch of.
You know who relocated here because of that?
Lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah, he said he's from Mississippi or Missouri, one of them.
No,
Mississippi probably. Yeah, he said he moved out here after Katrina because his shit got destroyed, so he moved to California.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That's like the only person I know, but I mean, it happened so. I guess it's happening more regularly now. I don't know if it's just things are changing or climate change or whatever they want to call it. I mean, I don't want to get into like all that shit, but it's some crazy times. So anyway, I brought up Jeff Bezos. What do you think about Jeff Bezos going to space?
I think it's actually a good thing. Even though I don't. I mean, his speech could have been better. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he didn't have to make it trash his employees like that. But I think it's a good thing that we're back into space because first of all, we haven't been like the man hasn't been on the moon since like what, the 50s, 60s?
1965, I think. Do you believe we actually went to the moon in the 60s?
Dude, honestly, I believe so. I think we've been there, but it's just the government just didn't want to. Okay, yeah, we got to the moon. Why explore space now? Like,
well, I personally don't think we went to the moon in the 60s. No? I feel like it was fake.
You feel like it was fake?
Yeah, it looked too fake. The footage, like, first of all, what kind of cameras were they using to be able to retrieve that footage in space? When back then all the cameras were huge, and then like if you look at the machines that they were using, like the technology back then, there's no way they were able to send somebody to space. They fucking explored, and then they came back to Earth, bro. Like there's no way. I do believe that we've been to space, that they've actually sent like robots and shit,
like rovers.
But like to 60 years ago, think about the technology 60 years ago versus the technology we have now, and even now when Bezos and them are going, they're not even going to the moon. They're only going to like. Just like the layer right before space because they don't
out of orbit.
Yeah. So we're barely even doing that 70 years later with all the money and the technology that we have here available to us, and I just don't believe we did that shit.
That's true. Like how I don't know, because like I've been to like a NASA facility when I went to Texas because they have a facility where they have like rockets and like old rockets that they send out during missions and stuff like that, and it was cool. It was cool to see, but like they actually had like moon rocks. Like in there, they had a facility where like you could like put in. They had like these glove containers, like where you just put your arms in, and you could just like see the moon rocks. I don't know. I thought it was really cool, but I don't know. But the idea, going back to the idea of like Jeff Bezos in space, I think it's a good thing. Like, why not explore space? Like, I prefer, like, why not? Like, first of all, think about it. Like, if Jeff Bezos is going to space, Elon's going to want to go to space now. I mean, and that fool has been working on his whole SpaceX stuff for like a while now. And going back to Elon Musk, he's like putting up a bunch of like satellites out in space orbit using like satellite technology to provide like internet service to like rural areas, using his SpaceX rockets, just sending them out in orbit. And for that, like, it's called Starlink. For all that, he's thinking about like a lot of people are predicting he's gonna IPO that company just because it's gonna like solve the problem of internet, like in areas where it doesn't have where
the wires aren't running.
Yeah. So it's like at a fixed point. It's all it is just a satellite that you put on the roof. You just point it to the sky, connect it to the modem, boom. And like the satellite like rotates wherever the satellites are. And that's going to be huge because if if that company ends up IPOing, which is he's going to use that money to fund like his whole Mars stuff, like
adventures and
adventures,
shit.
Yeah.
That Starlink, that's also probably tied into how Tesla wants to do automated driving, right? Like automatic driving with no. So one of the big issues with self-driving cars is that there's not enough data coming into the cars fast enough because they got to be able to process everything around them, and like there can't be any errors because you can't have a car crashing into a pedestrian or crashing into another car. So I remember they were saying 5G was going to be one of the biggest proponents to accelerate the self-driving stuff because 5G allows faster transactions of speed just coming into the network, into the cars.
I could see that with cars. I think personally, I think 5G is overhyped. Like it's probably overhyped, but I could definitely see that.
Yeah, I don't get the 5G hype. Isn't it already here? We didn't really see. I remember they were like, you're gonna be able to download a whole movie into your phone in 2 seconds and shit. Like, I haven't really noticed the difference.
I haven't noticed the difference between 4G and 5G. I mean, it's all the same to me either way.
There was this conspiracy theory saying that 5G was gonna like do some shit where gonna kill us or some shit. Dude. That's like the dumbest conspiracy theories.
I remember hearing about that stuff like during the beginning of the pandemic and all that stuff.
Oh, that they turned on the 5G. They turned on the 5G towers. That's why we're all getting sick and they're covering it up.
Dude, like, but if you think, I mean, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, why? How come they're building all these like satellites? Like you see like those palm trees with like the like they look like palm trees, but they're actually like
well those have been around for a while.
Yeah, they've been around.
They make them like that to be more aesthetically pleasing, I think, because instead of having like a metal tower in the middle of your city and you have palm trees, they kind of make it and those are towers for cell phones. So
cell towers.
We're able to get better signal. I've noticed because I've had a shitty Sprint for like the last 5 years, so Sprint's signal has been sucking. But over the last maybe 2 years, ever since the merger with T-Mobile. The T-Mobile merger and then the 5G, I get signal now. We're in a lot of places where I didn't used to get signal. So that's cool. Things are getting better.
But going back to the whole space thing, I think going to space is a good thing for us because we get to learn more about it. Private. I mean, obviously, like I prefer for us to like as a whole. It's better that private companies are going into space because now, like, who knows, later down the line, space travel could now be a thing. Like, imagine if all these companies, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, keeps continuing on like these space missions, they could regulate space travel. Like,
well, that's what's Richard Branson, because he actually went to space the week before Jeff Bezos.
Oh, really?
This other billionaire guy, he went to space. I forgot his space company's called, but I think Jeff Bezos said he secured like $100 million. It's unreported, like hasn't been officially.
Yeah.
Over $100 million of people who already purchased their flights to space. So this one, they're gonna be doing trips like this for $200,000.
Oh,
so
wow.
You pay $200,000, you'll be able to take a trip to space for like however long it took. Like go up, be in space for a while, and then come down. So there's a bunch of people already signed up to do those trips, bro. So they're making hella money, which is only gonna get the technology to be better, so we could actually start exploring, putting a base on the moon. I think that'd be hard. I hope that happens within the next like 20 years.
Yeah,
because I know they want to send people to Mars in 2023. So that's the course that they were trying to take. I don't know if that's still the target for SpaceX.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't whatever happens, whatever space colony we have, it just doesn't turn out to be like some Ready Player One type stuff where they colonize Mars or the moon and they just broke off for some reason.
No, that's like if you're but yeah, I feel like the amount of energy that would take to break up a moon, bro, like it's huge. The moon is pretty big,
Yeah.
No, I feel like we'll see like colonies on Mars, but that's even going to Mars is tricky because you're not guaranteed to return back. Like you gotta be those motherfuckers that volunteer. Would you volunteer to go to Mars knowing that, like, let's say they say you're never gonna come back to Earth, like you're gonna go to Mars, you're gonna colonize Mars, you're gonna live out your life over there, and whatever happens, happens.
Living like the Martian.
Yeah, like the Martian, bro.
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, probably not. I'd freak out, like knowing that at any day I might run out of resources, or because I remember watching The Martian. Yeah, dude, probably not. I would say it would be a good thing for us to go to other planets just to like look for other materials. Coming up with different energy solutions. Like, you never know, we might find this rock that extracts like some sort of energy.
Feel like we have to start with the moon. Like, I don't know, we should go to Mars right away. Like, why go to Mars? Because it's so far. The trips take like 3 years.
Yeah.
So you go 3 years to get there in your supply. So in The Martian, which was cool, I read the book before the movie came out because it was when I was doing book reviews. So I was like, I'm going to read The Martian.
How was it?
I like the book a lot better than the movie. The movie was cool, but I feel like
it missed out some details.
Yeah, it's more detailed. So it's more boring. It's super boring because it's a lot of like nerdy computer shit. But what they were explaining in the book, I don't remember they explained it good in the movie, but it was they sent out like first they sent out supplies. They were sending out supplies and kind of like the stuff that they needed to set up before they sent humans. Then they sent humans. They will send another supply and then they will bring them back. So because it's 3 years, like something goes wrong. You gotta wait 3 years for help to come back. That's the scary part.
Yeah, so they send all that stuff just like before the mission, just so like they have some stuff right there.
And I think that's what they're trying to do now. They already said that we already have robots in Mars, so I think they're gonna send like supplies, maybe like set up some kind of like futuristic camp, then send people once they kind of see that they have enough resources of anything to survive. Because you're sending people to pretty much die, bro. Like that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm like. Do we even know if Mars has like any kind of life?
We don't. Well, that would be big news if we found life on Mars. But there's I think that it's almost guaranteed that there's organisms because there's a frozen section of Mars. So if there's frozen, that means there's water, and if there's water, that means there's life. So they're thinking it's like microorganisms, like some kind of like that's like the life form. We're not gonna find actual.
But why would you want to live on Mars, though? To be honest, like, what's so appealing about Mars? It's just desert. It's just desert.
It's desert and it's windy as hell, bro. So I read some shit about like how Mars is inhabitable because it's so windy. Mm-hmm. We get like hurricane type storms, like desert fucking storms, like coming once in a while because there's no buildings, there's nothing. It's just emptiness. So they would definitely have to find this place that has shelter in order to rock themselves from like the heavy winds and shit.
It's gonna be that one planet from Star Wars to Tatooine, whatever that.
Tatooine, yeah.
Tatooine. I think that's gonna be like Mars.
Yeah, I feel like, you would go to Mars if you just want to be. It will definitely be like scientists first. You're not gonna send some average Joe.
I think they would utilize like some of the winds just for like energy purposes. Put some windmills. Like utilize the winds.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I feel like Mars is so, with the technology we have now, it's too out of reach and too hard to like go actually settle there. I feel like why don't we settle in the moon? It's so much closer. Set up the camps there with like oxygen and all that bullshit, and you could have literally people living on the moon.
Could you imagine a concert on the moon?
Bro, Travis Scott in the moon, bro.
Kid Cudi, the man on the moon.
Dude, that'd be hard. I know, definitely Kanye gonna perform in the moon for sure.
For sure, dude. That has to happen. That has to happen.
Dude, that'd be bad. Just I think for me, I just don't understand why we're just skipping the moon when it's just like valuable right there. It's
and you don't know like the kind of metals there are. Because we're always looking for metals, especially all these companies.
Yeah, there's definitely like different, but. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of political stuff happening with that because if you set up in the moon, I read a book once. It was called The Next 100 Years, which there was gonna be some like Star Wars, not like the movie Star Wars, but like Space Wars. Like we have an international or the National Space Military. What the fuck it's called? Like
Space Force.
Space Force. There you go. So Japan and China and Russia, the United States, they're all fighting to compete to go to space. So right now we have International Space Station and things like that. But once you set up in the moon, you have the potential to set up like lasers or rockets and shit pointing at any country you want. You know, like the threat, it's always going to be dominance and war, because that's like what's been driving human evolution for years. Even though I feel like we're past like big major wars, I feel like every civilization said that, and then shit just went downhill, you know. But
yeah,
so that's like the big threat. It's like someone's gonna put like a laser fucking cannon and like be able to shoot at a specific
on
target,
some,
like on
the Martian.
Yeah, no, like that's what like the kind of weaponry they're developing now. So there's gonna be that know. Like if you see China set up in space, like you think we're gonna be thinking, cool, we have humans on the moon. Like we're gonna be skeptical. We're like, oh, what are they planning, bro?
You know? Well, that's true. That it's always politically driven with anything, because like you also got to think about it too. It's like if we colonize, if we go somewhere else, like on Earth, we're bordered, you know, under like rules and constitutions and like legislations. Like every part of this planet has like some sort of boundaries, right? But you go somewhere that hasn't been, you know, civilized yet, what kind of boundaries are there going to be?
It's the Wild Wild West. It's nobody has jurisdiction. You just plant your flag and I fucking live here.
Like, I conquer this land.
You're conquering it for the country. But what if you don't want to conquer it for your country? You just conquer it for yourself. Just take your own flags and shit. Once you get there, it's like, fuck that shit. What are they going to do? They can't come get me.
I don't know.
But anyway, so anyway, going back to Jeff Bezos. So will you take a trip to space if you had the money?
If I had the money, yeah.
How do you feel about billionaires being able to take their own space? Like, do you feel like because people are so critical with like these billionaires are going to space. Like if I had billions of dollars, I would go to space. Like that's not even
first of
all, first of all, the biggest arguments, like they have enough money to end world hunger. They have enough money to, you know, like do all these charitable things.
It's their money at the end of the day.
But it's like the government should be doing those things.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, because dude, you got to think about it. They're just one person, right? They just happen to have a lot of money. Like at the end of the day, it's their own self-interest. Those billionaires already like give a lot of money.
Yeah.
They have their own charities. They already fund their own foundations, whatever. They give away a lot of money. So honestly, I don't care because it's not my money. So if he goes to space and do some epic shit, like.
Yeah, just moving the civilization forward, you know? And for me, it's like the government has they just proven that they could print trillions of dollars fucking of the last year. Stimulus here, stimulus here, stimulus here. They have the money and the resources to end all these like world hunger, but people, they just want to hate on these individuals that were able to hack the system. And like I saw this report, or I was reading on Twitter, someone said Jeff Bezos has given you so much time. How much is your time worth? Like if you could put a price to your time, your days. Every time you order something on Amazon, you don't have to drive to Walmart. You don't have to get down. You don't have to interact with people. You don't got to buy that shit. Drive back, waste gas. What if you get in a car accident? What if you... All these like variables that he's literally making so much easier by just pressing a button. It comes to your door in 2 days for items, you know? And how much is your time worth? How much value is he giving you to your life by him giving those products?
At the end of the day, dude, the purpose of an entrepreneur is to solve a problem. He solved a problem by providing, obviously, a better service of transporting goods. I mean, who doesn't use Amazon or any of their services?
Yeah, and you don't have to. All those people that complain on Twitter, it's just annoying, bro. Every single one of those people, they all use Amazon. They all watch the Amazon shows. They order on Amazon, and they just want to be keyboard warriors and complain like, oh, eat the rich and all this bullshit. But it's just like he literally made everybody's lives better, and he gave you hours of your life so you don't have to spend it at the store dealing with like annoying cashiers and other customers. Like you're literally saving all that headache.
People like now, like there's like you could work for Amazon without like actually working for Amazon. Like you could be a seller, like a third-party seller. Yeah, third-party seller. You could use affiliate links.
Yeah.
Do all like there's
Audible's owned by Amazon, so you could listen to books while you. It's just so many, and then the number one is the Amazon Web Services. So they're a hosting site. A lot of websites, small businesses. So like for example, if I run a small business, like my website, if I scale, right? Yeah. So if I scale to a certain like margin where it's like I need like more web computing power in order to keep up with sales, you need a software that's able to produce that. So you have two options. One, I have to invest in so much like actual physical space to run all those computers,
like
or
a server.
through Amazon Web Service, which they have all the software that we need. So they're providing those solutions for also businesses taking their stuff online.
Yeah, dude. And as long as you have some sort of solution, people are willing to invest and buy into those companies. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's good for humanity. It's good for people.
Yeah, and now him going to space and making it easier and more normal for people to take these trips to space. Maybe that's going to be the spark where we just keep exploring and more funding, and people are excited to go to the stars again. So I don't know. I feel like Jeff Bezos is good. He's been amazing. And
yeah,
I just
don't like when you mention government, it's just government does a shitty job at anything.
You made a great point earlier when you said that these guys are like individuals going to space, because that the government was never going to do that. When was NASA going to take a trip to just space for nothing, or take civilians to space? NASA wasn't going to do shit because they don't do anything. Like, they just waste billions of dollars. So it takes Elon Musk, an independent company. It takes Blue Origin, independent company, to do these trips.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk developing the rocket that could go up and down without having to waste a whole fucking rocket. Like, that's one. It was the Falcon 1, which, like, he named it after Star Wars, but that was his whole thing. Like, Elon Musk wanted to. He was saying, like, why are we wasting our money going on the one-way trip, like, and then just dropping the bottom part of the rocket, and it just lands into the ocean and shit. So he made it so it's able to like come down as well. So that's hard.
And it's reusable.
Yeah, it's reusable.
Yeah. It's just shit like that, dude.
Common sense.
Common sense, and just like, I don't know, man. It's just people, they feel the need that, oh, if this person is doing good, he's obligated. Like people have that entitlement. It's like, oh, just because this person is making a lot of money, like, who are you to say how much money is like a lot, for this person? Like, at the end of the day, it's their money. They made it. They did the work. They put in the work of, like, Elon Musk, like, risked so much. He risked so much. Like, he almost lost money when he opened Tesla. Like,
he almost went bankrupt.
He almost went bankrupt. He sold like PayPal, no? Because he
So he sold PayPal. So yeah, Elon Musk, he took a lot of risk because all the money he made from that PayPal acquisition, he invested like 80% to Tesla, and like the others. Well, he actually invested it in 3 companies. So SpaceX, Solar City, and Tesla. Tesla, he said he was like 2 weeks away from going bankrupt. Yeah. And he got like some last minute funding, and they were able to like give out like a car display. Yeah. There was one where he sent, he got a BMW, the body of a BMW, and he just put the Tesla parts on it because they didn't have enough money or time. It was like a whole like car show, and they were able to get funding from that like car show display. So yeah, he's done a lot. Not right now, Tesla, like, they had quarterly earnings, which
was like 1 billion,
over 1 billion in quarterly profit. Like, that's incredible.
That's crazy,
because that company was like losing money for the longest time.
Yeah, and it wasn't even called Tesla at that time either, was it? It was called something like Motors, I remember, or
I don't know the origins, but I don't know. Right now, Tesla, like, they're just dominating, and then the truck's gonna come out, bro. I'm gonna be driving a motherfucking Tesla truck, delivering tile, bro.
Delivering tile, dude.
The homeowner's gonna see me pull up in a Tesla and be like, "Fuck, bro!" Like, I'm gonna use it for tile. Like, I already know. I'm not even in the front. Like, I'll probably make TikToks about that shit, bro.
You have to, bro. You're the first man with the Cybertruck delivering tile.
Fuck yeah. Shit, it's the Cybertruck tile guy. Like, that sounds dope. I think that'd be pretty cool. I can't wait for the Cybertrucks. They said it was gonna be late this year. I don't know if COVID like delayed them, but what do you think of the model design for the Cybertrucks?
I don't know, man. It definitely looks like something I drew in kindergarten.
Probably drew something better.
Bro, you know what'd be crazy is if like they did something with Transformers and they like included the Cybertruck into the, like, as a new Transformer or something. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Well, I don't know how many more Transformers movies they're making. I think they're making like another 10.
Another 10? You see it going like the Fast and the Furious route?
Yeah, well, it's the same company. It's Universal, bro. Yeah. Like, Universal, like, once they find something that works, they just milk the fuck out of it. They also own Despicable Me 1, 2, 3, and then the Minions solo movie. There's probably like more Minions movies coming soon.
I remember when Minions was a shit in 2013, I think, when the second one came out. I mean, I remember like seeing that all over, bro. Like phone cases, like kids just like Minions,
kids
bro.
love Minions for no reason.
Like Like, it's very cartoony. It's very cartoony, and it has like a feel. It's just
it doesn't make sense. They even at Universal Studios, there used to be a Transformers 2 ride.
Yeah,
and they changed it to a Minions ride.
What?
Yeah, they upgraded it, so now it's the Minions ride. You turn yourself into a minion.
What the heck?
Yeah, so it just became super popular. So yeah, Universal, like I said, is like they just love milking their franchises, bro. Like they got the Fast and Furious is like on 10 or whatever. I think it's 10 movies, including the Hobbs and Shaw, and they're about to do the 10th one, I guess. That's supposed to be the last one.
Who knows?
Still about family though.
Family's forever.
It's good messaging. But yeah, anyway, let's go back. We started with Rolling Loud and we went on a fucking tangent. But yeah, Rolling Loud was this weekend. There was a lot of moments. The baby, he was heavily criticized because he did some homophobic. He said some homophobic stuff. Somebody threw a shoe at him.
Somebody threw a shoe? What kind of shoe was it? It better not be some like expensive ass shoe, because I mean,
your shoe is like, that's pretty famous if you're the one that threw the fucking shoe at this fool.
That fool better. That person who collected the shoe has like sell it on eBay. Oh, it has the baby's sweat on it, or it has like the baby's like makeup. Well,
they probably didn't get the shoe back. I don't think they got the shoe back. Let me see if I can pull it up.
You better have some shoes, man. Imagine walking a festival with no like one shoe missing.
So right here, the baby. What does it say? The baby. The fans throw a water bottle at him and a shoe while performing on stage at Rolling.
Was he doing like a crappy performance? Or what the heck? Did he catch it?
Nah, he dodged that shit, bro.
What the heck?
He dodged that shit real quick. He didn't want to work.
What?
Adidas. They threw a shoe at this fool.
Oh man. What the fuck?
Yeah, they threw a shoe at him. He also brought out Tory Lanez, which he was involved with some stuff with Megan Thee Stallion last year. So a lot of people are just giving this with some heat. Pretty much, like he was like the villain of the show. He was probably one of the most talked about just because of the Tory Lanez incident, the homophobic stuff, and they threw a shoe at him. Like this is definitely at a memorable Rolling Loud
event just because of the controversy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the baby. I like the one song, the Bop or whatever, because it had a pretty cool music video.
Bop?
Was it Bop? The one that had like a cool ass music video, which is like one take. They did at Hollywood. It was in Hollywood. They did that shit in like Warner Brothers Studios.
Oh, okay.
Or Universal Studios, where they had the streets and there was just like a choreography. Like that shit was crazy.
Oh shit.
He was cool. But I mean, he has the same beat and the same song every single time. Like
that's every like rapper though.
Yeah, once they get their styles, the same shit. Like Travis Scott has the same songs over and over. Hey, but Travis Scott goes hard.
Knows how to perform though.
He's the best performer right now, bro.
He's been killing it, bro. Like
he literally is like the new modern rock star. Like every time you see all his concert footage, like people are just going crazy. Like the whole time he's just jumping and hyping up the crowd. Like that's awesome.
He knows how to put on a show. Like people get their money's worth when they go to a Travis Scott concert, because it's Travis Scott. He knows how to put on a show. His music is lit. The energy of the crowd and like the fan base too, dude.
Yeah, he's great. And also, there was another great performance, Megan Thee Stallion. She did a great performance too. She's also gonna be at Coachella 2022. Well, really? They're not guaranteed. They haven't been confirmed. Megan Thee Stallion, Travis Scott. They were in the 2020 lineup.
Yeah.
But we got Coachella canceled 3 times, so we don't know if they're gonna be here.
Tyler the Creator at Rolling Loud?
Tyler the Creator, I don't think he was at Rolling Loud. I'm not sure.
He wasn't on the lineup.
I didn't watch all the live streams. I only watched some of them. Are you a big Tyler the Creator fan?
I just like his shit. I just like him as a personality. I haven't gotten into his music like that, to be honest. I know he did perform. Didn't he perform at Coachella 2018 when Will Smith, or was it 19 when Will Smith came out?
He
when did his Igor?
So he performed in 2015 for sure. He performed Coachella 2015 and maybe 2018, I believe.
Either 2018 or 19, whatever.
Or 19. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I just like him as a personality. He's just like, he has an addictive, like, he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah, he very just jokes. And I like his, the whole group. I remember when they were first coming out. They actually performed here in downtown India, bro.
When?
Back in 2011, my senior in high school. They performed here when they were like barely blowing up, and there was the whole group, the Wolf Gang or whatever.
Loiter Squad?
No, it was Wolf Gang.
Dude.
Or something like shit. It was like Frank Ocean and Taco and all those fools. Like the very beginning, they performed here in India. I didn't get to go, but I had a lot of friends that went.
That's
like they set a show, and the energy was because they were all like 17, 18 at the time, you know. Yeah. So they're actually my age. Like all my friends group have a bunch of friends that are like really big fans.
That's crazy. Tyler's so relatable though. He's very cool. I just like him. Like he knows what he's doing, but he's just very laid back.
It's different. Like he just brings the hip hop could be different, you know. It's his own style.
Yeah. And
things change. Like that's what's cool, you know. There's not like all the other rappers that sound the same. Like he's got his own. He created his own style, and I think that's a lot of the rappers. They kind of sound different. They do different things in order to stand out, and that's when you create like these new. They get their own following, like fans that are fans of him. They might not even be hip hop fans. They just like him.
Yeah, like for all, yeah, dude. Like even his comedy stuff too. Like back when he was doing Loiter Squad on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
this is crazy. That's how I.
And he does skating and shit too, you know?
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he does it, but he does skate for exactly. How do you feel about that Kanye delaying Donda?
Donda? I'm not surprised because Kanye, I think every single album he's dropped, he has delays. Like he's never dropped anything on time. He's surprised because I didn't even know he was coming out with an album.
Oh really?
And I'm a big Kanye fan. Like, I've seen that fool perform a bunch of times live. And like I just love his music. Like he's amazing. So I didn't expect him to make an album right away after like breaking up with Kim, because it just happened, you know, like they're going through a divorce or whatever. And then out of nowhere, I just see that trending, and someone's like, oh, I just listened to Kanye's album. It's like going back to College Dropout. It's amazing. The melodies are something insane. And then out of nowhere, they actually they start selling tickets for Mercedes-Benz Stadium, like selling out an album listening party. Like this was sold like 25,000 tickets for people to just go listen to his album. Like not even him performing the album, like just go listen to.
So what's happening with that? Like, do people still get access to like go to that, or
no? So it was just a one-time event. So it was like,
did people get their money back?
No, that's what it was, an album listening party, album release party. And people paid for that. So you just go to the stadium and listen to it. So like Jay-Z was there. Mm-hmm. Kim Kardashian was there with the kids. Travis Scott was there. All kinds of celebrities were there. Football players. Just people in general. You know, people that live in Atlanta.
That sounds lit.
People flew all the way just to go to that. It wasn't really a concert. It was a 2-hour event.
Yeah.
But it was just him playing the album for the first time. And he's done that before. In 2016, he did it for Wyoming, for Ye in 2017, 2018, 2017. And he did The Life of Pablo. So Life of Pablo, he had a release party, which also launched at the same time as his like clothing line. So it was like a new season of the Yeezy clothing. Mm-hmm. And he performed Life of Pablo at Madison Square Garden. So he sold out Madison Square Garden to just, one, it was a fashion show, and two, to play his album. That one was dope. They actually streamed it in different movie theaters across. So I went to see it here at the River.
At the River?
They had an event. It was like at 12. Like, I don't remember what time it was, but we went.
That's crazy.
It wasn't even packed though. It was pretty empty because it was like matinee times.
Yeah.
And they played that like the live stream in the movie theater. Like that was a cool experience.
That's crazy though. It's just I respect Kanye because like he's just his mind and like him getting into all these things, dude. Like clothing, like just his creative mind and how like every album is like its own album, and every track is its own track, and just the amount of collaborations he's managed to have and just all the success. Like honestly, dude, Kanye is doing big things, and even with his own Adidas line. Like I went the other day, I was watching the Sway interview. How Sway? How?
How Sway?
But like a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, because in that interview he was talking about like how all these corporations were like trying to control like his creative, because like when he was like signing with Nike, when he made those Red
Octobers, yeah.
Like Nike was gonna give him a shoe, but they would like strip his creative freedom. And I actually think because Kanye is like signing with Adidas to make the Yeezys and all that stuff, like he's making Adidas like cool again.
Well, yeah, well, he raised the brand ever since he joined the company. The stock went up. I don't want to say it's all him, it's all collaboration, like different stuff that Adidas does. But yeah, Kanye, like his shoe sells out every time. Even now, like anytime he drops a new shoe, I've been trying to get Kanye Yeezys, but I just don't want to pay the overpriced market, bro. I'm not gonna pay $500 for shoes. I remember
when those like V20s, like those, dude, the runners, like
anything that like yeah. So he just makes different music, like we were talking about. He doesn't sound the same on every album. Every album is different. College Dropout's different. Yeezus, like he went to Europe and he spent like a whole summer in Europe trying to get the sounds of like alternative music and trying to make it, you know, like that's why it has a lot of accord. You know what I mean? Like he did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. There's like a legendary story about the recording of this. He went to Hawaii.
Oh wow.
He was over there in Hawaii and everybody like flew to Hawaii to go work on the album. Like Nicki Minaj, all the people that are featured, Pusha T, all those guys, and he made everybody wear a black suit to be in the studio, like actual like working. Like it wasn't just like hang out. Like you had to wear like a black tuxedo or a black suit in order to be in there like working and shit. And he was just working on it for the longest time, and it came out to be like the highest rated album ever.
Wow.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like the album's amazing. He performed at Coachella 2011. That's the first time I seen him live. I was actually front row for that shit, bro.
Dude, how was that?
To be honest, I was super tired because I ended up. So it was me and my friend Derek. We went to Coachella Friday and Saturday, and then we looked at the lineup that was gonna be playing at the Coachella stage, which is the main stage, and it was like 7 artists that we wanted to see. It was like Wiz Khalifa was like at 3 p.m. Then it was like Jack's Mannequin, The Strokes, maybe Death from Above 1979, Duran.
It was a solid lineup.
The Strokes was right before Kanye. So it was just like nothing but like famous artists.
Bangers.
So I was like, I don't want to like, we should just stay here and be front row, since by the time we went for Wiz Khalifa at 3, that was before Wiz Khalifa like had blown up. He was barely coming out 2011. So
2011, yeah.
Or he played Cushion Orange Juice, like all the classic songs. People were just smoking weed and shit. I have a video of it, like a whole little. That's my first Coachella video.
Yeah.
So we stayed there, and then we stayed for the Strokes. We stayed for the other like. But by the time the Strokes, like people were pushing to get to the front because a lot of people just wanted to see the Strokes because they're like an iconic band, and a lot of people, they don't perform a lot. So Julian Casablancas, they had to split up for a while.
Yeah.
So it was they a lot of people push, and as soon as they finished, a lot of people wanted to jump over the fence and shit. But yeah, we stayed there. Like I was able to grab the fence. Like that's how close I was. I wasn't like the front row, but I was literally grabbing the fence because people were pushing so hard. So it was me and my boy Derek. We were like holding on for dear life. It was crazy. I was super dehydrated. My feet were hurting. And then Kanye came on. Like it was awesome. The energy was great. And he did a 3-act set. So first act, like energy crazy. Second act, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But the third act, bro, like
you were just
I was in pain, bro. Like me and him, as soon as the thing ended, like we just collapsed to the floor. Like we didn't pass out, but we're like, let's just rest. So we stayed like just stretching and just laying down on the grass until security kicked us out. Like, hey, you guys gotta move.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I was just in pain a lot.
So that was your first Coachella experience, 2011?
No, my first Coachella experience was 2009. That was I only went on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So that one I got because I used to go to the teen center.
Yeah.
The local teen center, the Indio Teen Center after.
Right in front of the school, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when they opened it that year, and it was my sophomore year in high school. And I used to go there because my parents couldn't pick me up because I used to live far away, so they picked me up or whatever. So I would just hang out at the teen center playing basketball video. They had like a PlayStation 3. You could rent out the controller and just play.
Yeah, so it's like a boys and girls club kind of thing, right?
Kind of thing, yeah. It's basically Boys and Girls Club, but funded by the city instead of like a corporation or whatever. So I don't know, we're on a Friday. They're like, hey, we got free Coachella tickets. Who wants to go? You can only pick one day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never been to Coachella. Like, I've heard of the festival, but I always heard like people are doing drugs inside and like people are walking around naked and just having sex. Like that's
crazy stories.
That's the shit that like you hear, you know, like rumors, like people that never been. So I was like fuck. So they can only give you one ticket, and they had a bunch like back before 2011. You could actually buy single day passes for the festival.
Yeah.
So anyway, they I look at the lineup because I didn't even know who was playing. So Paul McCartney was on Friday, 2009. Damn, I don't remember who the hell was the headline. I think Muse was playing on Saturday.
Radiohead.
And damn, I don't remember Coachella 2009. But anyway, I went out because one, Paul McCartney, and two, Molotov. Solo Molotov's a Spanish like rock band, and they
Frijolero.
Yeah, Frijolero and Puto and Give Me the Power. Like they have a bunch of songs, and I grew up in Mexico, so we listened to a lot of that shit like on MTV and VH1 over there. So I went to one. It was because of them, so I was like, "Fuck, I'll go to that." So they were only gonna give me one ticket. So my friend, shout out to my homie, he was right there, and he's like, "Where do you want to go? I'll get you another ticket so you go." Because he couldn't go, but I couldn't go by myself because I was like 16. Yeah. So I ended up taking my sister. So we both went like just on Friday, and it was crazy. Like it wasn't as packed as it is now.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like I never been inside a festival before. It was my first music festival. I didn't do anything like drugs or nothing. It was just like it was just fun. Chill. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Just walking
crazy.
around, like seeing all these people, like
people from all over the world.
And like I remember, I think I was watching like one of your videos of you like highlighting like your first experience and just the style, dude. Just like how everybody dressed back then. Like looking back on like the style, like before social media, like
people used to wear native attire, bro. Like a lot of times, like. People wear feathers and like hippie shit, and like it was nothing but hipsters and like outcasts because it wasn't a mainstream festival.
Yeah,
it was literally an indie festival. So indie was like people who hate mainstream, people who want to go to the desert and just party in the desert for a weekend and don't worry about the media and all that shit that was happening because this is before social media. Facebook was around, but it was like an infancy. Instagram wasn't around. Twitter wasn't around. All that shit, TikTok, all that shit wasn't around. YouTube wasn't even that popular back then. So it was like people were just going to the desert to have fun, and now it's like super corporate.
Oh damn, that's crazy. I mean, I've only been to like, I've only seen the outside of it, but I just know like whenever Coachella season comes in, because Coachella now is like, you can sense when it's Coachella season because everybody, the traffic.
Yeah,
the traffic gets crazy, but then a lot of people start like filling in the businesses too. That's a good time for the Valley now with everything in the Valley. All these businesses, like like the food park, like it's gonna be.
Every business is sober, overpacked, and making good money. That's what's been hard for the last 2 years because I love going to the festival and I talk about the festival a lot, but it's like the economy locally, bro. Like I know so many people that work there, securities, people that work as vendors and like bartenders. Like I know people that work bartending. They make hella money in Coachella, bro. Like over the 3 weekends because it's 2 Coachella weekends and Stagecoach. Like
Stagecoach, yeah.
So much money that restaurants make, just like gas station, everything. Everybody makes money, and all that shit was gone over the last 2 years. So that's like it definitely took a toll on the local economy.
Yeah, I would like to see though. One thing I would like to see in Coachella though, just this is just my opinion. Is just seeing them embrace more of the local restaurants, like local taco shops, like instead of bringing all these vendors from LA. And I understand that some of those vendors might be popular because some of the people that also are from that area, like LA,
they make them trendy.
They know that spot because it's like, oh, it's this taco spot from LA. I mean, yeah, it's cool and all, but it's like you're coming.
The festival's here.
Your festival's here. You're not going to LA and going to eat those taco shops. Like, no, bro, like, come get some authentic ass shit that a grandma probably made. Like it's a grandma's recipe. You hear the radio being on, blasting some actual. That's the one. Like you're eating some authentic.
Like authenticity. That's what you're missing. Yeah, I could see that. It's.
I also want to see more like Mexican and Latino or just Latino Hispanic music being played because the last time we've had something like that was what Las Tucanas. And that's when that like. When it blew up.
Yeah, right? So they had Los Tucanes, and the year before Los Tucanes, they had Los Angeles Azules.
Yeah.
So 2018, Los Angeles Azules. They had Caifanes, like I think it was 2015 or 13 or some shit. They've had like Molotov one year, but they're always like obscure, tiny acts. Like even for Los Tucanes, they play them on Friday at like 3 p.m., which is a terrible time slot.
That's a terrible time, dude.
Friday, 3 p.m., people are barely even driving to the festival. Like people don't get here till like Saturday night, you know? So it's like they are including them, but they give them bad slots. The only one that they started giving them good ones was Bad Bunny and J Balvin. But because they're already like huge reggaeton artists, but like all the Mexican ones. So Banda MS was supposed to come 2020. They're still scheduled to come. Yeah. Hopefully they are. And they're going to bring out Snoop Dogg for sure. That's my first prediction.
Yeah.
I'll make a predictions video. But yeah, Banda MS, their songs are super popular. Like, sure. So that's going to be interesting. Definitely probably like, again, Friday, 3 p.m. That's Los Angeles Azules was Friday, 3 p.m. Cuco, he's taking again American artist, but he's like more Hispanic. So they played. And I definitely think they need more local artists. Like, they give us a lot to maybe one local artist a year. And DJ Alfalfa, shout out to the homie. He performs. He's like a Regency.
Like a DJ, right?
Yeah, he's what do you call it? Like he's always gonna be like Regency DJ. I forgot what they're called, but he's always at Coachella. So he's gonna be there in case an artist like can't make it, or there's a set like that they need, or time slot to fill in. He'll come and perform. He's one of those guys. Like that's dope. Like
he's a backup. Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays a Do Live, which is like there's like a separate stage that's like there's like 7 Coachella stages. But this one they just wet people, bro. Like
they wet people.
Yeah, because it's hot as fuck. So you go in there, your dance is like electronic music, like the type of shit Alfalfa plays. And there's like people with like super soakers just fucking wetting people, like water hoses and shit. So it's like if you don't care about who's playing, you just want to go have fun and fucking go crazy. Like that's one of the places to go.
Do they have like beach balls and stuff like that too? Like
small ones. Yeah, people like it's a party, bro. It's fun. So like Coachella's cool because you have the main stage, which is like the biggest stage. That's where everyone performs.
With the biggest acts.
Then there's the outdoor theater, which also has pretty big acts. You know, like not Jay-Z. Who performed there? It was the Wu-Tang Clan performed at the outdoor theater. I think Kanye performed at the outdoor theater in like 2006. Billie Eilish performed at the outdoor theater. So it's like that. It's like the main stage and the outdoor theater. Those are the 2 big ones. On the other side of the festival, there's a big one called the Sahara Tent, and that one's like
I've heard of that.
That's where Blackpink performed. Kid Cudi performed last time. You have like Calvin Harris performed, David Guetta performed there. You know, it's like it used to be all EDM. So before 2016, the Sahara Tent was only EDM. So what I used to love about Coachella is like, if I don't know anybody on the lineup playing right now, because there's like 7 people playing at the same time, I would go to the EDM like tent just to fucking go crazy because like the lights and like the people going crazy, like it's always fun. Yeah. But now they actually made it more diverse because I guess they were having too many people get dehydrated because they would stay at the tent like the whole day. Yeah. I knew a friend that would go to Coachella from like 12 to like 12. He was on the EDM stage. Like he didn't care about going to the other pop artists, whatever. He wanted to hear techno music the whole fucking time. So I think it was maybe for better flow. I think they said they wanted better flow, so they started spreading out. Like EDM artists were now on the main stage. Calvin Harris over here. You have instead of just being EDM, you have hip hop artists perform the Sahara Tent now too. So they kind of made it more mix. Everybody performs everywhere.
Yeah, just so like they could get more foot traffic as well. Maybe that too.
Buy more things,
more food.
Yeah, and it gets you like. It just gets people to travel because it's just being stuck in one place kind of sucks.
That's kind of boring too. Like if you think about it, if you're just at Coachella, just listening to one thing. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but I'm just saying like.
Yeah, that Coachella's not that kind of festival. So for example, Rolling Loud, we were talking about Rolling Loud earlier. Yeah. That's just like almost exclusively a hip hop festival. Mm-hmm. And I've been to Rolling Loud Los Angeles last year, and it just is the vibes. It just doesn't compare, bro.
Doesn't compare.
Coachella's just so organized and everything just works so well. And I think just hip hop in general is kind of boring, bro. Like,
because it's like it's
just not right. I just don't. Only hip hop festival doesn't have the appeal because you have the artists like Post Malone and Travis Scott. Like they're gonna be amazing because you know every song. But then you have these other artists who have like 1 or 2 songs, and they're popular. But then it's like you don't really care about them. The energy's not there. And for example, at Coachella, you have an EDM artist, like, boom, it's just going hard the whole time. Even if you don't know the songs, it's going to go hard. You have a rock band, you don't know the song, but you get into the fucking guitar solos and you're listening to the fucking riffs, drums and the fucking people doing all this crazy shit. And you just like, you feel that they're playing the instruments.
Yeah, you have different choice of like different genres that you could explore. Like you said, like if you don't know, you may not know, like you're watching like a Strokes concert. Like you may have not heard the Strokes, but if you went and heard their music, you might, oh shit. It's like, this is awesome. This is epic. Like,
yeah, that's happened to me. I've discovered a bunch of artists I just never even knew. Arcade Fire was one that I've heard of them before, but I didn't really care about them. But I watched them. I watched them live, and it blew me away, and I became a fan of them. Like I've listened to their like latest 2 albums and shit. There's just a bunch of artists like that.
I don't know, man. Like I said, like all hip hop is just like you said. I feel like that would just be a little boring. It's because.
And also the short sets, bro. Everybody at Rolling Loud plays like a 20-minute set. And it's just, okay, like 20 minutes of one artist. Okay, cool. The next artist. It's just over there at Coachella, you're getting like 40 minutes, sometimes an hour performances. So it feels more like a performance. Here's like, oh, they're just showing up for a paycheck. They're doing their 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And then that's it. And then move on to the next one. I don't know. It just doesn't have besides the main headliners, of course, they're going to be great either way. Yeah. I just don't like Rolling Loud. And also like, the organization of everything was just terrible last year. Terrible. Maybe they'll be better this year that they had a couple years to plan. But Rolling Loud 2019 in LA was not it.
Not it. All right, yeah.
Put them on the list, bro.
Put them on the list.
Yeah, Rolling Loud LA. I think it's in December. It looks pretty lit.
Who's on the lineup?
Damn, I don't remember, bro.
I don't remember.
It's pretty similar because they always have like the similar lineups, but
yeah.
I think Kid Cudi's gonna be there, maybe Chance the Rapper, but I got Future's. I think for sure. Future was my favorite one.
Oh, really?
Future was the best one at Rolling Loud 2019.
Dude, Future, all his songs, bro. Like he's just Future's like on a whole different level. I don't know. I always clown on like. I like hip hop, but at the same time, I like listening to other shit. So like, I feel like I think I would like Rolling Loud if I know that an artist that I like is gonna be there, but if it's just a good little to no lineup, like if there's artists that I like really mess with.
What kind of music do you like?
I mean I like hip hop, but it's just I'm not that kind of like music listener to like just listen to one genre. Like I like mix, I like alternative, I like rock, I like indie. I'm a skateboarder, so I like hip hop, like old hip hop.
Yes, so you're a hipster for sure. You definitely like Coachella, bro.
Yeah, I definitely for sure. Well, it's because like I grew up watching a lot of like old skate videos, like Baker 3. They would always have like old like hip hop and
So the lineup for Rolling Loud LA, it's actually pretty lit. J. Cole, that's somebody that's
dude.
I would love to see. I've seen J. Cole once at the Honda Center in Anaheim. I think it was 2017, 2018.
Oh, dude, how was he?
He was amazing. I really like J. Cole. Billy Dale's a huge fan of J. Cole. Like that's like his number one artist.
I could tell, bro.
The influence.
I could tell. J. Cole is definitely for sure.
So Kid Cudi's the Friday headliner, and then Saturday you have J. Cole.
Polo G.
Wait a minute, there should be 3. Where the fuck's the
Kid?
I don't know, but there it is. Future's on Sunday. Oh, there it is. So we have Kid Cudi, J. Cole, and Future are the 3 headliners. Then you got a bunch of great artists like Wiz Khalifa, French Montana, Jack Harlow. I want to see Jack Harlow live. I think that'd be hard.
Polo G. I've been hearing a lot of stuff from him.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in Rolling Loud LA. Like it's a pretty solid lineup. Playboy Cardi, Boogie with the Hoodie, Lil Durk, Nav, Moneybagg Yo, Lil Yachty, Lil Skies. Like I said, it's not like the lineups and all that shit's cool. Like it's so many artists. That's the one thing about Rolling Loud is there's so many artists, but it's all like I said, 20-minute sets, and it just I don't know. It feels like it's not a.
You kind of feel like you've heard the same thing or like
over and over and over. You're just waiting for the headliners.
Yeah, probably.
And that's what's cool about Coachella because besides the 7 stages that are playing at the same time, you have an Arctic Dome. So the Arctic Dome is like the best thing that they've ever done. You go in this thing and it's air conditioned. You sit on like a beach bag or beanbag. You just lay down and look in the sky, and it's a 360-degree dome. brought to you by HP. So HP, it's like a giant company, right? It's a giant LED 360 dome. So anywhere you look, you'll see the screen, and it's just crazy visuals. You get like a 15-minute like sequence with like music, usually featuring somebody that's playing at Coachella. So last time it was Rufus Du Sol, which they play like, I don't know the style, but their music's fucking like just mesmerizing. So you're sitting there and there's air conditioning, so it gets you a break from the heat. Yeah. Fucking like crazy visuals, just like computer fucking loops and like the type of shit that you see when you're like on shrooms and shit. So, so that shit was like, that's like one of my favorite sequence, like just going to there. Then there's another one, the Yuma. It's like a disco. So you go in there. So it's also air conditioning. And there's like different DJs perform there. What's his name? Idris Elba, the actor. He performed there as a DJ.
Oh, wow.
Like a couple years ago. I didn't get to see him because he was around the time like another headliner was performing, but like people got to experience that.
Yeah. Damn.
And you get to see that at Coachella, bro. Like there's people, bro, I can't, like I remember Coachella 2012. We're waiting on the main stage. I forgot who played right before Tupac. I mean, right before Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
There was like this older like couple, like maybe in their 50s or whatever. As soon as they finished, they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna head out. Like, I'm like, well, you're not staying for Dr. Dre. Like, these guys are legends. They're like, oh no, we're trying to beat the traffic. We just came here for this, whatever. We already had a good time. And they dip. Like, there's people that leave the festival. Coachella, like a lot of people, if you go on Sunday, like 7-8 p.m., you go to a local, I don't know, In-N-Out, you go to your local Food for Less, you'll see people that are with Coachella bracelets, or they already left the festival, they're ready to go home, and like the festival's still going on. Like they're not even staying for like the closing ceremonies. People are just like, because it's 100,000 people, so there's people that care about the headliner. So for example, if we're looking at the Rolling Loud for Future on Sunday, someone might just go watch Playboy Cardi and they don't care about Future and they'll leave. Like there's people that do that shit at Coachella, crazy, bro. Like I always blows my mind.
I remember we did that for like a Dodger game. But that's baseball, you know. That's baseball. I didn't think they did that for like.
That's actually a tip. Some people say if you go to Coachella, just kind of stay around the vicinities. If you see people leaving, be like, hey, are you guys leaving? Are you guys using your bracelets? You might get your bracelets for free. I've heard friends do that before. They ask somebody for their bracelets and they just give it to them because they're leaving anyway. Yeah. Here, you guys go enjoy the last 2 hours of the festival, like shit like that, bro.
Like, what are some of your pet peeves, like some of like just Coachella, or like people around like in Coachella or in the festival? I mean, like, what are some of your pet peeves like that you don't like about the festival?
So like the number one thing I don't like is like people that get too drunk too fast. Not because like, yeah, go have fun and have a good time, but it literally happens every year, bro. Like we come into the festival, it's Friday, 1 p.m. I don't like to go early. Sometimes I go 3-4 p.m.
Yeah.
So there's people that love to go in like at 11:30 when it opens. Like they just want to be there all day, but you get burned and it's not worth it. So I come in like at 3 or whatever, and there's already a line at the medical tent. Like on Friday, there's people passing out because they're too dehydrated because they didn't drink water. They were drinking the night before. They stayed up till like 5 a.m. drinking on Thursday. And it's like, bro, you're going to be there for 3 days. Like people don't understand how massive like the toll it takes on your body, bro. Like, and this is heat. It's crazy, bro. Like the energy that it drains you. Like it's just like literally a marathon, bro. Like you got to be there and you walk like 10 miles every day while drinking, while being in the heat, while jumping around for your favorite artist or just being in the energy in the crowd. And people just go too hard on the first day and they end up passing out.
And not even making it.
Yeah, you might even not even go to the rest of the weekend. And also, like, if you have friends, your friend passes out, you're going to be feeling stressed and shit. Like, oh, fuck, are they going to be okay? Yeah. Now you're not even going to enjoy your favorite shows because you're thinking about your friend. Maybe, you know, like, are you the one taking care of them? You have to stay there. You know, like, a lot of times it could just be...
It's just liability type
stuff.
It
just kind of ruins your whole trip. So I feel like that's the thing that pissed me off. Is like, bro, like, you're there for a whole weekend. Like, don't go too crazy right away. You know, kind of like take it slow. I always tell people that the first day, like, just take it slow.
Take it slow.
Enjoy, explore it the first day. Go to all 7 stages. Kind of know what things are. Then Saturday and Sunday, then do whatever you want. You know, like
you got 3 days. Like, make it last. Like,
make it last, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, dude.
Especially for people coming out of town.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I remember watching your tips video. Like, oh, like how much should Coachella actually cost? And a lot of people were figuring out ways how to like budget where to stay. Some people were camping out of their van or something like that. I mean, anyway, because like when it comes to stuff like this, like public attractions, you got to save as much money as you can if you're not trying to overspend it. Because like, you know, I don't think, obviously, like it's a big event, you know, it's kind of expensive, but you don't want to overspend, especially if you're not a local.
Yeah, it just that's like the number one thing is definitely just don't overspend. Another thing I don't like is so they divide like the VIP. It's not even VIP, it's like artist bracelets. So there's like certain sections, like at the very front of almost every stage, there's like an artist section. So it's like special passes. Not even VIP gets access to that. Like you get like badass like front of the stage type shit. And I feel like that should be more for the fans. Like before, there's still a section for the fans, like the right side of the main stage, but then the left side is like artists or VIP. And I feel like if people want to be at the front, they should be able to just go all the way and camp all day, you know, just be there, fucking fight it out like it was 2011, like type shit like that. Like, I feel like there's not enough opportunities for fans to fucking really be at the front. Yeah, like I feel like they need to do a better job with that, but I guess it's like more safety or the money. I don't know. Now there's a lot of influencers now. It feels like it is an influencer event. So when I started going 2009, like I told you, it was indie, people just having fun. People didn't even have cell phones at the time, or maybe they had like flip phones. Like no one had like an actual phone. And now it's like everybody's there taking pictures. There's people that don't even care about the artists. They're just recording the whole time, or they're just there because they got paid to be there.
Paid to fly out. Yeah, just go there
to be an influencers, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I remember watching like a couple, like some of those videos were coming out on my recommendation. Like, oh, I went to like James Charles and stuff like that. Like just out of nowhere on just like on the trending on YouTube.
And you're watching James Charles videos?
No, not like that. Not like that. But I was just like looking at the trending. I was like, what's happening? And it was April. It was like Coachella time and all that stuff. I mean, like all that new stuff came out.
Yeah, like every YouTuber fucking posts about it now. It's like, so that's I mean, there's not a real pet peeve of it. It's just that times change. So I'm not gonna be married to the idea like it should be an indie festival. Or there's too much influencers and all that bullshit. But it's like, why not? Like these people just want to have fun, make content. Like fuck it, let them. You know, I'm optimistic about it. So for me, just the number one thing is just people passing out too early, bro. Like you're spending all this money. We literally made a video. The average person spends like $2,000 to go to the festival, and they're fucking passing out on the first day. Like money just wasted.
So much money, man.
Well, you don't have to spend if you're local.
No, I know, but even then, bro. Like $2,000. If I'm not from here, like you got to think about gas, like just on the festival alone, or like the whole.
No, the whole trip.
The whole trip. That's still a lot of money, man. I mean, $2,000.
Yeah, $2,000 for the whole trip. So you have a whole year to save up. So it does sound like a lot, and it is a lot of money. But like even now, we still have like 7-8 months. You could really make that money fucking reselling shit, like the Gary Vee method. Go to garage sales, start reselling shit. It works. Like that shit actually works.
Man.
All you need is to catch yourself like 10 good items, just 10 flips away. You'll make your money.
It's all hustle. Like, for real.
Yeah, it just there's ways if people really want to go. It's exciting though. It's exciting to finally get something like Rolling Loud happen, where like you get to see all the crowds there.
Because now it sparks up like
the conversations there. So now if there's not a big outbreak or people aren't like complaining about it, and everything goes smoothly, then we are gonna get Coachella in April. So I'm still, even though I kind of know that Coachella's happening, I'm still a little bit skeptical, bro. Like I don't know all this Delta variant bullshit, and like, are we gonna get another shutdown? I don't know. LA County's doing indoor masks now.
Indoor mask. So
LA County, you gotta wear a mask indoors now, no matter if you have vaccine or not. LA County they just keep pushing everything back, but. I don't know. I feel like this could be a good start. Like this festival
has to be, dude. Because I mean, like, even though, bro, we gotta live life. You know, people have been waiting to see like their favorite artist perform for a long time. I mean, come on, you shut down the whole world for like a year and a half, and like people are gonna, you know, go all out just to see some shit like this because it's like.
And now, like the Olympics, 4 years, you're training for 4 years as an athlete. And now the Olympics, like they get to play them without no fans and shit because they pretty much athletes only.
The Japanese, it was the Japanese, like the population or the people, like they didn't even want the Olympics to happen at all.
Oh no,
no, it was the government that like allowed it to happen because it's like they already delayed it,
by a
year, and like the government wanted it to happen, but the people, like that's why you saw like a little to no turnout because it was the people.
Well, they canceled. I think a week or two before the Olympics actually started, they said there were gonna be no crowds, so just the athletes. What? So right now the Olympics are happening with just the athletes in empty stadiums.
Dude, I was watching the skateboarding stuff and I was like, I mean, that's dope. Like I dig it, but it's weird seeing the Olympics happening without like a stadium filled up or like
the crowds cheering.
The crowds, because every 4 years, 2012, 2016, it's always like a big thing. But now since there's like no crowds,
it feels like it's less, right? Like no one even cares about the Olympics right now, bro. Like there's, first of all, like all the big names aren't there. You have the last 2-3 Olympics, 2008, 2012, and 2016. Yeah. You had Michael Phelps, like big name. Oh, this guy's going to break records. And he was breaking every single race, like was epic. Yeah, 2012, and then Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world. Like you're looking forward to Usain Bolt. And even USA basketball, right now they're struggling. But no one's like, you don't have the big names. You don't have the Kobe's. You don't have LeBron. Like 2008, 2012, you have LeBron, Kobe, D-Wade, like big now names. You have Kevin Durant, and like people don't even like Kevin Durant because he's a team hopper and he freaking responds to people on social media. Damian Lillard and like Devin Booker and all these fools, like they're still coming up. I don't feel like they're not established like it was. Solid. They're not established. Solid. Even though Kevin Durant's like gonna be top 5 when he's done, it's just Luka's there. Luka's getting more attention. That would drop like 48 points, bro.
That's crazy.
Like his first game, Team USA. I think they said Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, like 6 or 7 like badass NBA players. They scored less points than Luka did in his first game. He shot better percentage, and they won by like 30 against Argentina, and then Team USA lost in their first game.
Wow, dude.
So Luka's the truth, bro. That was only like 21, 22 years old. Like, so anyway, like, yeah, the Olympics, they just don't feel like a big deal. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's the delay. I don't know if it's the no crowds. But I haven't tuned in to watch anything.
Like, it hasn't been all that much marketing too. Like, right? Like less hype. Like I remember seeing those commercials like, oh, the Olympics are coming up. Oh, the Olympics are coming up.
Do you think it's because we don't watch enough TV anymore? I feel like
no, that's not an excuse, dude. I mean, you would be hit with ads, bro, on YouTube, like the Olympics, and like even then, bro, like the NBC or whatever.
Yeah,
they would find ways to advertise this on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Like
even also the events are always like at 2 a.m., bro. It's all midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like you're trying to wake up at that time to watch like a fucking race, bro.
Dude, but I mean, this year though, I will say for sure, what did get me to watch the Olympics. I didn't watch the Olympics for the other sports, but I'm a skater, so seeing skateboarding for the first time in the Olympics was just, man, it's just crazy. It's crazy to see because like I actually like, it's crazy to see like my favorite skateboarders like just being on there and seeing like the growth of skateboarding, like that you saw that girl, 13-year-old Brazilian girl that won. Dude, like stuff like that.
Yeah, so the gold medal was actually was she a Japanese skater? She was a Japanese skater.
Yeah.
So the women skating, the 2 winners, the gold and silver, were
13-year-old.
Both of them, bro.
Yeah.
Like 13-year-old women's. Yeah, like that's fucking dope. Like imagine you being 13 years old winning an Olympic gold medal, bro. That's fucking
that's game changer, dude.
That's the game right there, bro. She's gonna have sponsorships for life because she could market off that. The youngest like Olympian skating, like she could have her own brand. I don't know if they already have a big following, those skaters, but
oh, definitely, dude. Like after this event, for sure, dude. They might. I mean, Nike signs like a lot of the big skaters.
Yeah.
A lot of the most popular, Nigel Houston, Shane O'Neill, Eric Costin. A lot of Nike has like a lot of skaters on their belt. But also like Adidas too, like takes.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of skating brands out there. So That's cool. It's finally being recognized. I remember for the longest time it was only the X Games, and I think they saw how popular the X Games was. And I mean, skating is a sport. It's super difficult to land all these tricks and to finally have that happening in the Olympics. Like we never got to see Tony Hawk in the Olympics, but
he actually was skating the course. He was skating the course. He didn't.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there. He was skating around. You know who Nigel Houston is, right? You've heard of him. He's the biggest skateboarder. Like, dude, the one guy. He was the number one guy like that was set to, because he's a competition skater. He's not like a regular like street skater. He actually grew up skateboarding, but like doing out of competition. So his dad would take him, like make him skate every day, but he would make him do like competitions. So he grew up doing a bunch of skate competitions, right? And throughout his whole life, he's competed in a bunch of competitions just been in the game. Won a lot of shit. And because he wins a lot of competitions and he's so good at skateboarding, like everything he like his style, dude, is almost robotic, because it's like he's
done it for so long.
He's done it for so long, and it's just perfect.
So he's the number one skater in the world?
He's the number one skater. Well, he was supposed to. People were like, he's kind of seen as like, oh, he's expected to win.
The next Tony Hawk type.
Yeah, right. And he ends up flopping. He doesn't even place.
Oh damn! He didn't even place none of the medal spots.
Not that I know of. He made a post how he was like disappointed.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm like, I kind of look at it like this, dude, because like I follow him and he does party a lot. I don't want to say that. I just don't think he has that focus. I just, like to me it's like, yeah. I mean, I actually prefer like him. I don't know. I just don't like it's crazy to see him the face of skateboarding. It's hard for me because he doesn't even look like an actual skateboarder. If I'm being honest, like he looks too corporate, like just too Nike, I don't know. It's just, he doesn't look like a skater. He looks, I mean, he's balled out. I mean, I'm probably hating right now, but it's kind of just weird to see him representing skateboarding. Like, do you really want this guy who's just like marketing a bunch of athletic wear? And I'm not knocking that, but it's just, that's not skateboarding.
He doesn't have the soul. Who ended up winning these events?
Yudo. His last name is Yudo. I don't know his first name, but his first name is Yudo. Yeah, dude. Yudo. He's actually Japanese. He won
for his home country.
Yeah, he won from his home country, and dude, that guy is just insane. He won. So he actually won Street League, which is one of the main competitions here, like in skateboarding.
Yeah.
He's really good. A lot of Japanese skaters are really good at skateboarding. Like a lot of talent, and I'm just very excited to see people, of all like places just skateboarding just grow, because you don't even have to like flip a board to skate. It's one of those things that you could just, as long as you ride, like, yeah, like this is just they're doing it out of competition, but at the end of the day, skateboarding is like one of those hubs, kind of like music. It's one of those things you can just connect with. It's like, as long as you ride a piece of wood, because skateboarding is all about community. Like, even though you see somebody like not landing a trick, your first instinct, oh, if I know how to do that trick, I'm gonna go out of my way to help it. So it's one of those things that, 1, it's community, 2, transportation, 3, it's like you get exercise doing it too. So,
yeah.
And it's just something
I've noticed there's a lot of people skating now. I feel like back in the day when I was a kid, no one really skated. It was more just play the video games. You play the Tony Hawk games.
Tony Hawk.
With the soundtrack and all that shit, but you never really saw kids skating. I remember I was driving down 111 the other day, and there was people right here in the corner of 111 and Jackson. There was like kids skating. They were making a video and shit.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what social media, dude. Funny thing about skateboarding, like the industry was the first, like one of the first industries to take advantage of social media, just because it's, filming and pictures and graphics where it was all part of that. I mean, dude, even some of the Jackass members skate too. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like all that stuff, even before Jackass, Big Brother. You ever looked into Big Brother magazine?
No, just the show, or just 1984, the book. Big Brother's watching.
No, so yeah, I mean, I could go into that, but So in a nutshell, before Jackass, they made their own magazine. It was crazy, and they did a lot of stunts, and skateboarding played a big role. But skateboarding like has always in magazines too, and like Thrasher. You've probably seen the Thrasher shirts.
Yeah,
somewhere.
definitely.
It's all like just filming, and even if you play the video games too, it's like some of the levels is like you filming or you like taking a photo shoot. If you play Skate 3, like you just do this crazy trick off this thing, and it's just to take a picture and put it on a magazine. Like that's skateboarding.
That's hard. It's definitely, I think it's an art form on its own. Besides, so like it's like it's an art. You said exercise community, like it's awesome. I definitely want to explore more into the skating world, which we're gonna do soon.
Yeah, we will.
Teaser to our future video that we're doing soon.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up. That's our time for today. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. My name's Angel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give this a 5-star review if you're listening.
You're listening.
And shout out to Brian. Brian, he's young Jamie of the team. He's the producer behind a lot of my podcasts. So we're gonna try to do more podcasts, kind of recapping weekends, going over some of our thoughts, and
for sure.
And you guys get to see more Brian. And whenever I'm doing interviews, he's the man behind the camera. So shout out to Brian. Thank you guys for watching. I put the links in the description for sponsors and all kinds of good stuff. So thank you guys for watching.
See you in the next time.
See you next time.